Check. Welcome everyone to another video I didn't want to make. Which even did I build here? Another one of those videos. Alright, I just very clever of my just to delete this line here. You know what? What happened today is another of those vlogs, another, some would say, rants and hate, but another video I didn't want to make. A year ago or two, I fixed, or maybe even longer, actually maybe even a decade ago, maybe even Michael Trosseso, of all our T2 contributors, of our amazing Linux distribution that is T2, cross-compiling all this stuff and so on, probably fixed and implemented cross-compiling Samba. I'm pretty sure I personally cross-compiled it just last year or 2 years ago. As usual, time flies. But so what happened today, right? 2023, and you quickly want to cross-compile Samba, which like worked some time ago. And yeah, of course it doesn't work anymore, right? And this is where I really lose. I looked into this already, so it's not that boring today. I can give you already the summary. And this, in my opinion, the Soul stuff is like one fail after another, right? This is kind of like due. I'm in the office, so I have amazing face palms, right? This is basically, I basically need a Star Trek triple face palm here for this kind of stuff that I find really depressive, right? After, I do this stuff for 25 years, and I would also say after 30, if not 30, 35, maybe even 40 years of freaking open source, I would expect in the meantime really everything like to just freaking work, right? Sure, then I would have not a job and stuff, but hey, AI anyway takes over, so whatever. But I also don't want to waste all my life fixing stupid bullshit. And this is one of the most stupid bullshit I've ever seen, like not ever. Oh man, I have seen shit. But I mean, this is totally ridiculous, right? So what happens here, right? You want to cross-compile Samba, which again, cross-compiling like on your epic thread-wrapping Intel AMD workstation to like ARM RISC-V, like running this on your SS Point or PowerPC, Spark server and stuff. And a common thing, right? All those NAS appliances, you like normal people don't native compile this for their ARM or MIPS NAS appliance, right? Think all the storage, embedded storage, and with all the embedded, I would think all the embedded storage people with their NAS servers actually. Okay, many of the new ones are x86, but anyway, until recently they often were ARM. I mean, the future is ARM64 anyway. But so long story short, so this doesn't build, right? This doesn't build the usual stuff. You're looking at this like, what's a frick? You run configure, it fails like this 10th line of freaking configure. Already with check uname not found. And in the beginning I thought, easy thing. We have this uname wrapper, right? T2 complains like you should not freaking run uname during the build. We configure the stuff how we freaking want to build it. So like just don't do it. I thought, it's just some error parsing things like whoa, what's going on in your configure? This bloody WAV shit. Okay, fine. So it's using this WAV shit here, which is you can never have too many builds, and there it continues, right? You can't use autoconf, yes, they suck, but at least they even freaking cross-compiled for 20 years. Also not Mason and Ninja and CMake, like no, you need to reinvent the effing wheel hundreds times because otherwise it would be too boring. So then you even look at where's the bloody log. You probably run this again here with like this or stuff, and it's like there's a bloody there is a bin config log. Usually the config log is in your top level directory, but okay, fine, those who can read, there's a freaking config log, right? And then you think like it's just you're running uname and the bloody parsing can't cope with our error printout here. I have some lag, right? This is routing half the world here through WireGuard and stuff. So but hey, it's not that bad. European internet, not that bad today. So what's going on here, right? Check here, it's like, of course, 2023, right? Body readable exception parsing shit. It's like, what's freaking going on here? And then we're like, whoa, hold on a minute. There's even the scroll a little bit around. It's like whoa, checking unames is like what the freaking. So it's instead of running uname, like each normal sane person would freaking run uname, right? But not the WAF people of reinventing the build system game. So they freaking compile a bloody C program. It's like, that is of course what you freaking do in 2022 of yesteryear. You compile a freaking UTS name including C program of printing. It's like, yeah, you could just effing run uname, but no, you need to build a C program and you can't even effing run it because you're freaking cross-compiling. It's like, wow, what a bloody fucking shit. Like how it's like pro career tip, don't freaking do embedded and open source Linux. It's just depressive. But it's like, what a bloody fucking hell. You can't make this stuff up. I really need painkiller. Also, like the website, right? Amazing. I mean, people could say our website looks like shit. It's like, yeah, that's a Samba website. It's like, let's read the effing manual, because just read the effing manual. Obviously, like cross-compiling, and other people would say like, yeah, René, just run this shit through QEMU. The problem is not only is it slow, right? So you will see how much shit that can run if you hack around of this. It's like, yeah, running all this shit through QEMU. It's like, yeah, good luck. Even on an epic thread-ripping Ryzen 7950X, it's probably like, yeah, QEMU launching QEMU for each of those bloody binaries. It's like, yeah, 5 minutes later. Plus, we don't even have QEMU full architectures, right? So if you want to cross-compile this for Itanium or some of the other architectures, you don't even have QEMU for that. Because even effing natively not running half of the stuff because cross-compiling. So like kind of natively 18 seconds. So this is, in my opinion, a no-go, right? Also, if you have a new architecture like RISC-V, it's like, yeah, you can't cross-compile Samba or other such stuff for your new architecture until you ported QEMU or some other such similar whole system emulator to your platform. Amazing stuff. Or cross-ANFA. It's like, yeah, cross-ANFA is okay. Fine. Let's do this cross-ANFA stuff, right? So what this does is GNU AutoConf. To their defense, GNU AutoConf also have config cache, which we also pre-fill because GNU AutoConf also has kind of the same problem, to which I would say, don't like use size of int and stuff, right? There is no point of testing configure runtime, like pre-built runtime testing, endianness and size of stuff. The compiler does not, right? Just like use freaking portable C preprocessor endianness defines and size of int and stuff. Like, why is a freaking heck why in 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010, or even freaking today, you need to test and configure the size of int and I have no idea. Anyway, cross answers. And so then I did this, but the sad thing is, so how this, you fill this file, but that they even need this, right? I would still call over 90% of all those tests you have scrolling by, right? Over 90% of like header, this header, that header, it's like you had like one job. I mean, if you wanted, I mean, either you only support platforms that have some headers, which probably it fails anyway if you don't have them, or if you support broken platforms, like if dev _ Apple and define parentheses macOS version, whatever, then don't some bullshit fallback because at Apple everything pickbacks broken, right? So the sad thing is, fine, let's do this, right? So then you do this, configure cross-ANFA's file. I probably did this maybe wrong. Of course I did this wrong. No, just when I arrived at it, of course, let's do that again, cross-ANFA's file. So how this works is then also amazing invention, right? I mean, maybe I should plug this into some OpenAI GPT-3 AI thing, because hopefully that at least AI knows what are all the defines for some common Linux in RISC-V. So this was file, right? Oh, did I not use file? Cross answers. Now I'm confused. Should it not have file here? Why does it not have cross answers file? Why does it not? Or does it need to end with text? I did this before and answers. This needs equal sign. Okay, this documentation sucks. I copy and pasted that. Okay, fine. It doesn't even freaking throw bloody error. You can't make this shit up. It's ridiculous. I mean, even command line parsing for dummies, right? I have no words. What's this freaking? What have I done now? Or did I use txt? Oh, come on. Why is this not freaking creating a file? Are we too stupid to cross answers? Oh, come on. What the heck is going on here? It worked in this instance. Why does it not work in this one? What did I use? ARM? Why does it cross? It needs a cross. You can't make this shit up. You need, does it not? You copy and paste this shit and then, okay, fine. You need freaking cross compile and cross. I mean, yeah. I mean, why make it easy if you can make it complete bullshit? Configuration failed false. I think I mistyped the file name now. Cross compile, cross answers. Whatever, no, it works. So, yeah, I mean, you could put it there. Maybe it's written somewhere, but yeah, whatever. So, and now you start filling out the stuff like unknowns, like, yeah, whatever, system type, probably, hopefully is Linux, right? Is it not amazing? And for this you pay computer science people $100 an hour to, it's like, yeah, Linux 5, whatever, it's like checking cross-compile. Was it okay or yes, no? I think like okay, yes, no, whatever. It's like, and now you sit here. Excuse me, I still recover. So yeah, and now you go through all the stuff. It's like, because you have nothing else to do, and it's like you could know that on a modern effing Linux, like you could also, it's like, yeah, I've done that a little bit here, as you can see here. I've done this, I substituted most stuff like sed-i unknown to yes. It's like just the F get out of my face here with this. I mean, I'm at the point like 25 years later, why do I even still do this stuff? It's like, maybe I was joking previously opening, like I have to say after 25 years that we are still at this stage at open source where stuff does not just work. Like, why does this not just work? Why do we need 50 freaking build systems, right? And one, like, and what is it doing better? It's doing nothing better. Like, it's making many things worse and like configure finished successfully, right? Do not believe, why do I make this video? At the end, like 15 minutes or 30 of researching random bullshit garbage later, do not expect that this builds, because like it's trying to run compile et of some Heimdall bullshit it's like, yeah, elf not found. It's somehow, this magic is apparently matching enough to try to execute this as a shell script or whatever bullshit. So it's trying to run, it's like, yeah, at the end, I've done all this bullshit for effing nothing because it's trying to run a RISC-V symbolic link to, yeah, also this is a symbolic link because you can't even make this shitty enough RISC-V. It's like, yeah, it is sad. I try to make, I mean, this is in general, oh no, I've done this wrong. Let's hope it doesn't rerun configure. To this, I would in general configure. I very rarely ever had the need to run stuff. So they want to compile something for this Heimdall nonsense, which I don't even like selected embedded Heimdall build. I wouldn't even want that. The problem is it's like, yeah, disabling this, good luck, right? To that I even have to add, I find the Samba stuff too massive, right? Sure, Windows is a bloody massive mess, but like, I don't need my file server so large, right? I mean, maybe I should research simply as using other file server stuff. Because the problem is now I built already this disable DC or AC Active Directory, whatever. I'm sure it has system Heimdall Kerberos 5. I could try if that supports cross-compiling proper. But at the end of the day, like, they make it already hard, super annoying, which also it did cross-compile like some years ago. They make everything needlessly complicated. They over-test 90% of the stuff that doesn't need to be tested. That in my programming, like C, C++, like size of and files and stuff, there nearly never is a need. I mean, even you can test the existence of header files and stuff without running a compiler. You can just run a preprocessor, or you can just run a compiler and see if you don't need to run. I mean, no matter, leave in the comments below, but in my professional opinion and experience, over 90% of the stuff you don't need to configure time test like that. And then also disabling these features, right? All I wanted was a simple file server for some embedded needs, and all I got is like not compiling Heimdall stuff. It is so sad, and it is only getting worse, right? My point of this video is, like, why does the open source community, why do we do this to ourselves? How did we deserve that? Did we not send 30 years ago, did we not set out to make the world a better place? Were we not laughing about all the Windows stuff failing on Windows and Mac OS? And now we are here, and now the Windows and Mac OS users are laughing about us, that we sit in our basement and attic day after day and waste our lifetime with such stuff. We created architectures that are so hostile, that are so not just working TM, right? In my opinion, and I will, of course, I will get comments like, we're stupid and don't do it and just follow the freaking manual. But my point is, it shouldn't be as broken and stupid and complex as this. And we should make stuff not only more. You could argue, hey, they make all those checks so that stuff just works. TM, it's like, hey, we are checking all the stuff to just making it work. It's like, no, you are not only overcomplicating, like whether all this, like, hey, we have C, right? We got this. Like, don't check for all, like. What is even the point of checking all this stuff? I mean, what are they doing? Either they have it, or I don't know. I mean, you could also, like, you could have a top level config header, which is auto configuring that with ifdef GCC, glibc, not Apple, not Windows, whatever, without having to do this with Python on configure time. I don't know. It is sad. It is depressive. It is not fulfilling. It is, and it's also the problem, right? Why I don't do many embedded projects anymore, because if customers asked me 10 years ago, hey, can we have some NAS build for our NAS product? It's like, yeah, it's like, how should I even price it, right? Getting all the stuff to work, sitting here dozens of hours, and then people also don't want to, embedded people projects don't want to pay people $100 or euro a month in the Western world, in the industrial companies to fight cross-compiling infrastructure, over-glorified Python configure scripts, and I don't know. It's like you had me at. I kind of not only do I need to write a microkernel, I apparently also need to write a smaller version of Samba. I don't know what their goal is. I have the feeling that everything and the kitchen things they need to implement there. Can this not be a little bit more modular? Can this not be can this not be a file server component and some Active Directory server component and stuff that you can build with in separate modules? I mean, maybe you can configure this stuff. I mean, I quickly Googled this and it didn't, whatever. That's basically it for this video, right? The state of open source is, in my opinion, we had 30 years, right? Linux turned 30 years like last year or whatever, or even 2 years ago. And not only, sure, we have the year of Linux cloud server dominance, but like this, I mean, theoretically even embedded, but then we get embedded products that are so locked down that you can't just, that is also another thing, you can't just install something like, it's running Linux, but it's like you cannot just bring a Samba to your NAS thing from someone without installing a full T2 Linux installation. They write here this WAF is since Samba 4, I think. I mean, I could quickly check the log though. When is the last time? Yeah. Hello, what the freaking? What happened? Something is a little bit glitchy though. I'm not really sure what's. This is. Whatever. Yeah, so 2021 apparently, but this was 4.14. So, I mean, this version, something is really a little bit fishy with either my keyboard today or. So maybe this version did. I mean, we had crude hacks and stuff. There's source 3. I said system. Maybe we use some old sources. What does even, you can't make this stuff up. Why is this source 3? Or did we even run this? Actually, I don't know what we run. Yeah, Samba was always, I mean, here was even what is going on here with this patch. Yeah, whatever. You get the idea. I guess no Samba for this embedded project. And also all the costs associated with it, right? With all the stuff not building, I mean, you see here even, we need here tons of quirks already before. But this is also why the stuff gets so expensive, right? 416. So yeah, I remembered relatively okay that this 10,000, 13,000 revisions in 2020, just 1.5 years ago. Maybe the best thing for me, because I certainly don't really want to fight, so this was 4.14. With 4.17, although they wrote here this WAF is since version 4, or do they have? But yeah, you're also already in the freaking manual, right? You need to, like, using WAF to building, developing. It's like, yeah, if you would just have used a regular build system, like we're getting there where every major program needs their own build system. It's just, it's ridiculous. Size of character. It's like, yeah, we need to test this. We definitely need to test this in 2023. What is the size of character? It's so ridiculous. Anyway, that's it for this video. I have some coffee to sip and what maybe the problem is I can't overlay. We have two major ways to overlay packages in T2 to older versions, like to cross-compile. One is by architecture, the other is by target. And maybe we need by cross-compiling, because basically this would be like, you can have the latest version of Samba unless you want to cross-compile. But yeah, this is one of the things that's like, you had one job and all we got is this bloody mess. See you next time.